Come on.
What?
Do the thing.
Do the thing? What? Well, I'm not going to do the thing on air.
You do it all the time.
No, not that on air.
Oh, okay.
What, so how do you want me to do it on air?
Oh, the same way you did last night.
The same. What? That'll be boring if I do the same thing twice.
Not really.
No.
No.
No, it won't be boring.
No.
No, you like to have a repeat? I thought sequels were bad.
Most are.
I thought you didn't do number 2.
No, I don't. No backdoor for me.
No.
That's an exit. I don't get that. Don't understand it. No.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to. Is this a Sunday Nothing show, or is this a review? What are we calling this?
Technically, it's a review.
Okay. And what is it exactly that we are reviewing this wonderful Sunday?
Well, I was going to wait a little longer till more people showed up, but I damn it, I'm third.
Third's not bad. It's still on the podium.
So anyway, you said we had 6 and it dropped to 4. I don't think you were sexy enough.
Well, once again, you have to give me a little time to get warmed up. I have to be ready. You know, women do love surprises, but baby, there are limits.
You're saying the pump needs to be primed, is what you're saying.
Exactly. You know, give me at least a minute or two. You know, I gotta get my throat lubed up.
Oh, here we go.
So, Bird, last night's live stream was a lot of fun. It got me in the Christmas mood, and I put on some carols, which actually was the final little spark that gave me an idea for my next project. That's wonderful.
What is your next project? Just out of curiosity. All right. So, what is today about? Seems like we're going to have 4 listeners, so 4 of you can hear my or our review of Geoff Johns GEIGER or Geiger. Yes, Geiger.
Mm-hmm.
It's Geoff Johns GEIGER.
I love medieval blight there that you have on the image. I know that's Geiger, but
although you know what, he is essentially blight. It's the same power set.
Really?
Yeah. Except he's got a couple of nuclear rods that he pulls out of his back.
He pulls out of his ass.
No, he was highly irradiated, and when he sticks the nuclear rods in his back, or the cooling rods.
He has nuclear suppositories.
Yeah, he has cooling rods that he sticks into his back. Not his back hole, you sicko.
I'm sorry. It's just, you say it in his back. It's just, no, it calls to mind all sorts of filthy ideas.
Be that as it may, when he inserts the 2 cooling rods, he goes to a normal human form. But when he pulls them out, he turns into blight here. And he uses the 2 rods as a weapon.
There are certain flaws with that.
I'm guessing the rods are made of cadmium or something. I don't know.
But then he uses them as a weapon. I mean, that's the part that to me, I can believe certain things. I can extend belief to certain points, but him then using those exact same rods as weapons, just, I don't know. That is actually a little much of a bridge too far for me.
All right. Well, people will continue to trickle in, but yes, Cesario, it is a complete ripoff of New Vegas. Oh, the graphene. Thank you. So I take it you read it? All right. So let's talk about Geiger by Geoff Johns. And it goes as follows. There was once a time when Geoff Johns could do no wrong. His run on the JSA to this day remains some of the best storytelling of its kind. One thing that always stood out to me about his JSA is the fact that he didn't write about politics or ideologies, but rather universal values. If anything, his JSA truly did embody the American melting pot and the promise of the American dream. No race, religion, or moral code was singled out as simply good or bad. Good and evil were born out of a character's intent and actions. Well, forget all about that because Geoff Johns has been absorbed into the cult of wokeness. So that's all dead and gone. Ever wonder what Fallout New Vegas would be like if it had gone woke? Well, wonder no more. In Geiger, Geoff Johns has given us a discount version of New Vegas where good and evil are color coded. That's right. Want to know if somebody's a bad guy? No problem. If they're Caucasian or Asian, they're evil or serving evil. Meanwhile, all forms of good come in varying shades of brown. That's all you need to know to survive this world. I honestly don't know what's more racist. The way Geoff Johns portrays white people as racist, sadistic, power-hungry monsters, or how even in the apocalypse, blacks can't manage to achieve anything without first coming under the heel of the white man. Even the gangs in this book are all white. In Vegas, there are five houses rule everything. In Vegas, where five houses rule, even the one house led by a black man is at the bottom of the barrel. At some point, these woke twits need to realize that repeatedly portraying blacks as helpless and in need of saving is racist in itself. So what about the story in Geiger? Is it any good? No. There are the bones of a good story here, don't get me wrong, but it's constantly derailed by ham-fisted woke politics. I'm sorry to say Geoff Johns has lost his talent to the same extremist ideology that has all but destroyed the comics industry. But I'm sure all of his woke friends in Hollywood are patting him on the back right now.
So what's the point? Is he like trying to take down these royal casinos one by one? Did he lose real big in one of the houses and he's out for revenge? I mean, what exactly is the point?
Okay. There was the unclear
spoilers, by the way.
There was the uncertain war, not the unclear war, the uncertain war, the unknown war. That's what it was.
The unknown war. Okay.
Yeah, because it's unknown who started it.
Okay.
And in the nuclear war, his family ran to the bunker. And let's see if I can get a picture of this. His family ran to the bunker. Now, this is Tariq here getting shot. Tariq is our hero. He becomes Geiger. He's half Arab. And
he is?
Yeah.
Okay. I will take your word for it.
And Tariq and his black family run to the bunker. And as you can see, the McCloskeys here show up in their BMW and decide they're taking the bunker, and they kill him. Or they shoot him in the back a couple times.
Okay.
But he manages to close the door of the bunker so his family can survive. They don't, of course, they get roasted, but...
Okay.
But yes, the McCloskeys here make a cameo. And if you know who I'm talking about or don't, I'm talking about these two.
Shit, really?
Can you... I mean...
Really?
It is so ham-fisted.
Ugh.
You see it, don't you?
Yes.
And, like, the dialogue is so bad. Sorry, neighbor, but we're taking that shelter. Probably his people that started this anyway.
What?
Yeah. Now, for those of you who don't know, the McCloskeys, Mark and Patricia McCloskey, were the St. Louis couple who had actually donated a lot to the Democrats. This will teach them. Black Lives Matter smashed down a wrought iron gate, invaded their yard, were threatening to kill them and burn their house down. And because he came out with an AR-15 and the woman had a gun that wasn't even functional,
yeah,
they were the bad guys. And the news portrayed them as, threatening these poor, peaceful protesters who smashed down a wrought iron fence and invaded their yard.
Yeah.
And speaking of walls, within the first few pages after we get this bullshit, right, we get a scene of Geiger here defending or chasing off some scavengers in the desert because they're crossing into his territory. How does he mark his territory? With a fucking wall.
He built a wall.
Yes, because they were going to cross his wall, so he came out with weapons and killed them.
But it's okay for him to do
Yeah,
that.
well, of course. It's always okay for someone else to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which just shows what a dumbass Johns has become. This already is a hint of how shit the story is, and so how utterly inconsistent it is.
Just how tone deaf and here's a thing to get outraged about A plus thing to get outraged about B. I mean, it's just like that stupid Green X-Men book where it's just insert thing here, insert thing there,
it's
and has
7.
absolutely no context or no reason why anything is happening.
It's 7 casinos. I'm sorry. So it's ruled over by 7 casinos, and they have a kind of a power hierarchy. And as you can see, all the casino owners or mob bosses are white or Asian, except for this black dude here, who is Goldbeard, right? And Goldbeard is at the bottom rung.
He looks homeless.
His casino's on the way out. It may not even survive.
Ugh. It's just,
and he's portrayed as not so bad.
Jesus Christ. This is actually worse than I thought it was going to be.
And you notice you got the one Asian here as another bad guy, and this shows up quite a bit. The one Asian is helping the white people. So Johns really has gone full woke.
Is she actually female or is she a drag queen?
No. No, we haven't gotten to that kind of shit yet. I don't think. Well, it'll be interesting if he puts that in the book. I won't know. I won't be reading any more of this shit. I just read the first graphic novel and was thoroughly disappointed. The guy at the comic book store talked about how great it was, and I was like, no, this is really just a shitty New Vegas gone woke.
Mm-hmm.
You want a better one? Play Fallout New Vegas.
That's free, I believe, on PlayStation.
So continuing, okay. Geiger is this lone wanderer of the wasteland who just lives in solitude, waiting for when the bunker will open and he can see his wife and kid. Of course, when it finally gets opened, they're dead. They've been long dead. They were baked in the nuclear apocalypse. And he ends up befriending and saving these two.
Uh-huh.
Now, the way that it works is that somebody recovered the nuclear football that controls the nukes, right?
I do know it's a thing. It's funny.
And this, I forget the kid's name. What was he called? Let me get
Kenny.
Kenny, exactly. The king, this one down in the corner, he was the big bad guy who is about as mustache twirling as you can get. I mean, essentially, he's a discount Joffrey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was like, this is Joffrey.
Ugh. Okay.
It's in Game of Thrones, same difference.
Got it.
Except not as well written.
So is he supposed to be Donald Trump Jr. then?
I kind of think that's what. Because he inherited Daddy's empire.
Ah.
Yeah, and his mom's this fat cow.
Ah.
But anyway, the king here is the big evil villain, and his henchmen found the nuclear football. And because... Okay, where is it? The key, here's his casino. This black woman here in the corner is a waitress, and it's a horrible life. And they start talking that, oh no, your daughter's getting of age. He's going to want to use her too. So she steals the nuclear football, runs home, and they're going to head for Cheyenne Mountain, where America still exists.
Okay.
And they're going to give them the nuclear football as kind of trade. So let us in. All right.
Okay.
She eats it, mom eats it, and the kids escape. And then when they run into a gang, Mr. Geiger saves them.
Okay.
And eventually he starts accompanying them through the wasteland. And these two are about as run-of-the-mill save me dids as you can get.
And how exactly are their yellow Halloween costumes going to save them from the fact that he's probably radioactive for 1.5 miles away?
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Okay. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry. As long as he's got those rods in his ass, he's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's kind of the road trip aspect of it. They have a lot of shit happen. The king's pursuing them.
It's standard fare.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our MacGuffin football. We have our two Kennys. We have our reluctant hero.
Yeah.
Okay. And why do we care?
They're the good guys.
But why do we care?
And the bad guys are so freaking evil.
But why do we care? I
Well,
mean,
but look at them. They're black and they need saving. Of course we're supposed to care.
I mean, in New Vegas, you had the different factions. You had, you have to forgive me, I'm not remembering the specific names very well at this moment, but you've got, the New California crew. You have the New Roman Legion. And then when you do have the Strip and the competing, casinos, people still want commerce. People, they still want people to come there and have fun and gamble. And, commerce still wins in Vegas. They don't give a shit about politics. So what's the point of these 7 different houses? Why do they exist?
They're competing
For
domination
of
Vegas and the wasteland.
Why?
Reasons.
I mean, like, at least with Dune, there was drugs involved. People wanted the drug trade. That makes total sense.
Well, eventually they're all after the nuclear football.
But
that becomes the thing they all want, because whoever has it will rule the wasteland, supposedly.
But if the nuclear football didn't exist, why do they exist? What is it exactly that they offer the people? Do they offer them protection? Do they offer them fun and games?
They offer them bread and circuses. They offer them a wall, and they offer them a glassed over Vegas where there isn't radiation.
A wall around what? New Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay, so they've got a wall, and our hero has a wall. So only the downtrodden don't have a wall? Is that?
No. The downtrodden have a wall too, but they're living in slavery essentially.
Okay.
To keep things running for all the horrible white people.
And other than, one woman and her 2 kids, how exactly does the average person live? Or do we actually see any average people?
Not really. You don't really get much of a view of the casino life. You just get the houses.
Yeah,
and the casinos are full of white people being horrible, but I mean,
basically, this is so paper thin. It's just, I can't even call this a story.
They're the bones of a story, but it is so derailed and underdeveloped.
Like the new Star Wars films?
No, it wasn't that bad. I can honestly say it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that paper thin and underdeveloped, but it is. But it still is. In the hierarchy, it comes just slightly above Force Awakens.
Yeah, I'd put it like about maybe around there. Maybe the last season of Game of Thrones. It's that nonsensical and stupid. Yeah. Except it's not founded on a foundation of good writing.
I was about to say, but Game of Thrones was good up until that point.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I know what to compare it to.
Yeah?
The new Terminator movie.
Oh.
It's along those lines.
Okay. Again with Emilia Clarke.
Yeah. No, not that one.
Not that one?
No, the one where Sarah Connor comes back as an old woman.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Now the savior of mankind is a Mexican,
Oh,
and border guards are evil.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's up there with that. Hitman Wanderer says it sounds like a shitty New Vegas fanfic.
Yeah, it is actually. I would call it that. But anyway,
All my life, I always wanted to be a nuke mutant.
you'd figure if James Cameron really gave a damn about all those Mexicans, he could just buy them, their way in the United States, or just buy them out of poverty. He's got the money.
They're not blue.
They're not blue?
They're not blue. You said James Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not blue.
Oh. So anyway, they finally get to Cheyenne Mountain, right? Where the last bastion of the United States exists, or at least you find out that the East Coast and other parts of the country are much better off, but it's been separated into 3 factions. And with the nuclear football, they can recover the nukes and force the other 2 sides into being reintegrated back into the United States so they can start rebuilding civilization.
So, playing Can It Be Saved? Basically, you're saying if this was redone as Escape from New York, it would be a lot better. You have to recover the nuclear football.
Well, shit, then you'd actually have a very defined plot, a goal, a story arc.
Yeah.
All right.
It even has something that's egg-shaped.
So they get to Cheyenne Mountain, and the military is kind of rough with them at first, but then they get there, and Cheyenne Mountain's actually great.
Okay.
They've rebuilt, they have this like suburban neighborhood. They've got kids going to school. Everyone's fed. They're getting educated. The air is clean.
Okay.
And they welcome these 2 right in. And they're like, okay. And they start showing them around, and they're saying, well, this is what we're doing. And you find out again, this general is trying to help the president reunite the nation. And then you find out they have very strict rules. And they give the 2 physicals, right? And they give them the Medicare they need.
Why am I flashing on the underground vault and a boy and his dog?
It does have that vibe, but not so fucked up. I thought I had a graphic of it. I guess not. Anyway, so they get to this vault, or Cheyenne Mountain, and they get fed, they get new clothes, they get places to live. The kids go, the little black kids playing with the other kids and going to school.
Okay, that's cute.
They give them checkups. They tell the older one, you're fine. Welcome to the community. We're going to rebuild civilization.
Okay.
And then they say, well, sorry, your brother's got terminal leukemia.
Okay. We
can't let him into the community.
You know what? It's the fucking apocalypse. I'm sorry, kid. Your genes suck.
Well,
I hate to be harsh, but
it actually goes further than that. They say, look, we have extremely limited resources. It's very difficult to keep all this up and going as it is. We can only expend resources on healthy people that can help us rebuild the future. This kid's going to die.
It sounds cold and heartless, and I understand that, but I actually understand their reasoning. This is survival.
Despite him having leukemia, they even give him ice cream, and they're giving him food.
Yeah.
And they're treating him very nice, but
it's like, look, you're
and they said, you're going to kick him out. And says, no, we wouldn't be that cruel. We're going to give him the Kevorkian way out. We're going to inject him. He'll go to sleep, and it'll be done. So we're not tossing him to the wasteland. Yet, Lind.
Oh.
And we just can't expend any resources to treat a kid who's going to die. And they're portrayed as villainous for doing this.
No, I mean, it's cruel and it's harsh, but it's also necessary.
And then suddenly the military is terrible. They're all bad people. And Geiger here escapes because they're like examining him as well. And he goes through, and suddenly it's okay for him to just start bashing the crap out of every soldier just sitting around doing his job. I mean, seriously, there's a guy sitting reading a book. And he says, it was Moby Dick. He says, is that book any good? He says, yeah, it's pretty good because he wants books. He's bored.
Mm-hmm.
Geiger takes his book and then bashes the shit out of him.
What a selfish prick.
As if that's funny.
No.
And like I said, this is just some dude sitting at a door for people to sign in.
Just reading his book. What the fuck is with this? Well, it's okay to just, take and pillage and destroy and kill if they're not on our side.
Yeah, Johns would have never done that while he was writing JSA.
No,
He
not
has
at all.
completely lost any reasonability.
I mean, I expect that from a chick writer, not from Johns.
Yeah. So these two put on their rad suits, and Geiger gets them out, and another character that'll have his own book here shows up, and they have a big fight, and then they escape. And the military are now bad guys. It's like limited resources, wanting to reunite the country. This doesn't sound awful.
Well, that and it's just another proof that the nuclear football doesn't mean anything, because what you just told me is they're going to leave with those people having it, right?
No, they still have it.
They still have it? Why do they still have
No,
it?
the military has nuclear football.
Yeah.
And they get it, and they're like, well, it barely works. We're gonna have to do a lot of work to even reactivate the damn thing.
No, but our air quotes heroes don't have it. They're gonna leave without it.
Yeah.
So it's worthless.
Right.
Who cares? It's less than a MacGuffin.
Well, now the casino gangs are closing in, and they're going to try and take it from Cheyenne Mountain, which strikes me as utterly stupid, because you can see in the background they have helicopters and a full arsenal of functional weapons.
Yeah.
And armor and tanks. It's like, no, there's no chance. And it's already been established that Geiger here can defeat all of them by himself, and this robot is as tough as Geiger is.
I don't care.
And you see, we've got this poster in the back. Only the strong survive.
Well, it's post-nuclear apocalypse. Yeah.
It's retarded. No, we wouldn't do that. It would say something else.
Yeah.
Something like, we will survive. But yeah, this whole fact that he suddenly is being, well, they're facing the harsh reality of the apocalypse. How dare they? Don't they know these two are black? And they're the only black people in the whole place, by the way.
In this entire place or in the entire book?
No, in this entire place.
In this entire place? Okay. But it's not like they weren't going to let them in. It's just, sorry, yeah, you're terminal.
This is Cheyenne Mountain, and there's not a single black private, sergeant, corporal. Are you shitting me? Half the military's black.
I'm a bad person. I've got bad.
Or half the army's black. You're not telling me there wouldn't be some grunts there who are black? No, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is complete bullshit. Everyone's lily white. I think there's an Indian and some Asians. No. And I mean East Indian.
Yeah. No, they would be.
Who are also really Asian, but
far more diverse. I mean, it's the military. I'm recalling the stand-up routine. You'll have to forgive me, I don't remember who did it, who was talking about how a tank crew is basically a drive-by.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, the graphic novel ends with Geiger delivering them to another colony that seems to be ran by a Vietnamese woman who's a cold bitch.
Okay.
And that's it.
This book is worse than I thought it was going to be.
I can't believe the comic book store owner raved about it. I don't trust his judgment anymore.
Yeah.
And I will repeat, at some point, these shitheads need to figure out that continually portraying black people as helpless and in need of saving and incapable of doing anything with them on their own, that they can't even function in society without falling under the boot heel of the white man, is offensive.
It is offensive.
You would figure there would at least one black biker gang in the apocalypse.
That where's Huggy Bear?
Yeah.
Where's Huggy Bear and his fly honeys and running his empire of Nookie, Where is that?
African warlords seem to maintain their dominance well enough.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you want New Vegas. You get the field of the impaled.
you remember the I think the Reavers from
Yeah, the Reavers.
no, it was from Firefly.
Yeah.
There's a discount version of them in this, and they're cannibals,
Okay.
all white. Not a single minority among them.
Jesus Christ.
So, let's see. That's my review. Don't bother with it. Johns is broken, and I'm sure Stargirl will be utter shit.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Redneck. The concept is they are hopeless because of their triggers, and to progress through a wasteland that resents all of them, you have to get them to level past and forget their triggers.
Okay. It is in theory a game about breaking. Okay. Well, I guess I don't know what they're talking about.
It's okay.
Yeah, people aren't really saying much about this book. You got 25 people listening, so I guess we're not boring, but it doesn't seem like anyone here has much to say about it.
Hitman Wanderer. Remember the comic that was supposed to be a dig about Trump's wall? Did that get made or did it get canceled?
I have no idea. And it's hilarious how many of these like California uprising books where the lefties rebel, the first thing they do is build a fucking wall.
Mm-hmm. Redneck thought the point of CRT is white savior complex and rights to black servants.
Yeah.
Acid trip. I remember when writing black people is just having them be people and not objects. Yeah, I remember that. Good times that. Buddy Lord. Even Flash Gordon had a black biker gang, just with wings instead of wheels.
Oh, were they black in the comic?
I honestly don't know.
I just remember the movie was Brian Blessed.
Yeah, and they were
looking like a leather daddy.
They were bears with wings.
Good to see you two. Hey, we got Fair Maiden White, Buddy Lord, Fiona. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
The review is more of a guideline than a rule. Okay.
Redneck, the book lost me on tone deaf woke shit. Fair Maiden, we're shocked into silence.
Oh, he also has a dog with two heads.
He does?
Yeah, as his sidekick.
Oh. Okay. Because, reasons. This isn't some stupid, he's a Chiron and the dog is Cerberus metaphor, is it? Just kind of shoved in there because why not?
I wouldn't doubt it at this point.
Instead of the ferryman, he's the guy who's going to catapult you over the wall. Cesario, I think Ishii and Kat should compare the New Vegas to Geiger comparisons.
Okay.
You
see any worth mentioning?
Let's see here.
Oh, we got Fiona shouting out books. Well, Thank you. Yes, I haven't been blatantly advertising my books lately. I've been kind of falling down on the job. It's Christmas, everyone. Treat yourself and buy my book. Available on Amazon. You'll be glad you did.
Yes, indeed.
When you read my books, they're so good you feel like you're touching yourself, even though you aren't.
So pet your little rat today and get yourself scars.
I was thinking of the scenes with Glinda, but
okay.
In Case File Arkham.
So pet your Cthulhu monster today. Cesario. So a mutated dog meat from Fallout.
Yep.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah, the art's great. I'm not going to read that name.
Harry.
It's Kanto Hair. Okay, I read it there. The art's great. It's just wasted on a shit story.
Yeah, the art actually is good, and the fact that I can look at it and I can tell exactly what's going on, although I think some of their spacing choices are odd, but I'm gonna go by he's a hired gun and he has to do what he's told.
No, he has worked with John's before. This is their project.
This is their project. Yeah, I question some of their spacing, but that's me. Hitman Wanderer. New Vegas has depth with many aspects and moralities. Geiger is shallow and bland. Indeed. That was the great thing about New Vegas is it. I'd say out of all of the Fallout games, it's the one that truly did have morality.
Yeah. All the other ones just had the same fucking story.
Daddy issues.
Yeah, daddy issues, and you're the savior of the wasteland.
Yeah.
That's it.
New Vegas. Someone tried to kill you, and you have no idea who. Go forth.
Yeah.
Buddy Lord, it is kind of a double fatality to keep writing people of color the way they do. They're writing their own hero complex.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. I want to check something for a moment.
What are you checking?
I'm going to check the wiki entry on Geoff Johns.
What does Wikipedia say about Johns?
I'm a little curious.
What is it you want to know?
Okay, so he grew up in Detroit, Michigan, so he has no fucking excuse.
No.
He has lived around black people throughout his childhood. He has no goddamn excuse to be portraying them this way.
Yeah.
He is of half Lebanese ancestry. I suppose that would explain the hero Akaji at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine.
Oh, there's no issue with it. I was fine with multiple races. It's just, as I said, in this world, good and evil is color-coded. If you're white or Asian, you're evil or serving evil. And all good is a shade of brown. That's it. There, you can survive this world.
Well, according to this, he now lives in Los Angeles.
Of course he does. And he's in the bubble. Yeah. He's hopeless. He's in LA. He's part of the cult. He's part of the Hollywood elite now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Kanto Hair says that's what his parents named him. So, okay. Sorry about that. Buddy, CRT is a direct philosophical descendant from socialist nationalism. It simply takes the ism and put it into the tribe instead of nation, maintaining the psychopathic drive and xenophobic nature.
Yep.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. Yeah, I would say you want something like this, but good. Either play Fallout New Vegas or read the Fist of the North Star.
Fist of the North Star.
Dragon Chiang was another good series by Tim Bradstreet, and I forget the other guy.
I'd say Borderland by. Let me go get the book.
Yeah, you go get the book. You still have it?
We should.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Borderline. Sorry.
Borderline. Okay. By.
Borderline.
By Brazilian person.
Yes.
Eduardo Risso and Carlos Trillo. That's not too hard.
But absolutely love this series.
I'd always loved to explain to people how Vegas, like it or not, was originally founded by Mormons as a traveling hub city for converts. Yeah.
Gypsy by Marini.
Gypsy, yeah. Gypsy by Marini is great. The weird thing is Gypsy and Dragon Chiang have a lot of similarities.
Oh, really?
The only difference is Gypsy's funny and has a lot of tits.
Has some really hot women. Fuck.
So you will all be glad to know that my lovely wife has gotten her old haircut back,
No,
or a
no,
variation of.
This is not my old haircut. This is definitely the bob.
It's
it's
better.
short.
It's better.
It's more feminine than my old haircut.
I agree.
But I have the short hair again. Yay!
So enough looking at this shit. What?
You. So should we talk about better books? And we should talk about happier books. Should I break out a Jimmy? And we can talk about
Break out a Jimmy?
You can break out a Jimmy and we can talk about bad books that are fun.
Oh, here we go. The story takes place in and near Vegas. Well, here, you read it.
The story takes place. Wait. Should I go Masterpiece Theater here?
Yeah, why not?
Or should I talk in the Vapid Airhead voice?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the story takes place in and near Vegas. A barren landscape following a nuclear war is a popular setting for many stories, and a fresh perspective is necessary to set Geiger apart from many similar stories. It delivers a centering. Centering.
That's a weird. Oh, it delivers by center. Okay, that's a weird phrasing.
It delivers by centering the narrative around a ruined Las Vegas, where crime factions battle it out for control over the ruined city.
Yeah, that's original. She thinks this is fucking original? This was a review.
That was a review?
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
So clearly this person has no knowledge of the genre
No.
to think that's original.
Yeah. You are talking people who really thought that Stephanie Meyer needed to sue Bram Stoker for stealing vampires.
You do have a point there. You do have a point. And wasn't it they also thought werewolves were stolen from
Yeah.
Twilight?
Yeah. It's like, no, you people are idiots. The world did not begin in the year 2000.
So, what are you reading right now?
I don't know. What am I reading right now?
Yeah, what the hell are you reading? What, you don't know?
No, I don't. Let me pull out my phone.
Have you been drinking again?
Lots and lots of Monster.
I don't remember what I read.
No, I remember what I read. I just don't remember what I'm reading right now. I've got like 5 of them open right now.
We've been watching Tokyo Ghoul. That's been great.
Been watching Tokyo Ghoul. I am so happy you love it. It makes me very happy.
It's very strange to watch Tokyo Ghoul and say, this is a Jordan Peterson lecture as an anime. It seriously is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. The last thing I read was going over Gene Shepherd's stories that became the Christmas story again. I do that every year.
Not Gene Shalit?
No, not Gene Shalit. And then I finished Galen's Way, and I also finished the biography of Thomas Mutter, who is one of the fathers of modern medicine.
Sounds good enough.
Yeah. So that's what I've been reading.
And can you recommend them all?
I definitely can to people, yes.
I got to fix this.
He is editing his review.
So what have I been reading?
Well,
I've been reading the second book in the Ravages of Honor series.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, I've been reading Batman stories. I can talk about those. I'm very happy to talk about those. But anyway.
And I have to say that it's still continuing to deliver a Pride and Prejudice meets Frank Herbert's Dune vibe with a lot more violence.
Yeah.
Incredibly good world building. Incredibly good. Still can't see how they plug this as a romance because it isn't.
I swear that's just how it's marketed from what you've told me.
Yeah, I mean, the heroine is like a minor character in her own book.
Wow.
So that's been excellent. Very impressed with it so far. And that's about it, really.
I read, I finally got a hold of Matt Wagner's Faces, which is a Batman Dark Knight, Legends of the Dark Knight story. Excellent story. Matt Wagner, in his prime, writing this story. My only problem with it has nothing to do with the story itself. It's a problem I have with some depictions of Two-Face, and that is the fucking puns
Oh,
with the number 2. It's a trope with the character. It's a thing with the character. I wouldn't change it. It's just I usually prefer my Two-Face stories more psychological rather than bordering on Adam West fun. And this was a dark, brooding Matt Wagner story with Adam West puns. I had some problems with it, but it's me personally.
Oh.
I wouldn't change the story.
You know what else I've been reading? Pissant Apocalypse
There
by
you
J.Ishiro.
go. Yes.
Now, they were a quick read, but they were great, and I look forward to them all being compiled into a manga size.
Kanto Hair, I'm reading my birth certificate. I'm finding out this isn't my real name. My parents lied to me this whole time.
That can happen.
Yeah. Victoria. Wait, there is actually people who believe Twilight is first to create vampires and werewolves? I wish I was joking, but no, this was a thing.
There were dumb shit kids or teenagers mostly, although some college students,
Mhm.
who all went on this internet rampage about, my God, this werewolf stuff has been stolen from Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah, who really wanted to sue the Stoker estate. It's like, you do realize he wrote that like approaching 200, 18, 19, 200 years ago. 150. Anyway, William, you know what we need for post-apocalypse? The Midwest. Danger from cannibalistic cheeseheads, nuclear cults that worship mutant muskies, and genocide committed by rival sports fans.
I would
Go
read that.
Wolverines!
Well, I did see a very low budget movie that had a lot of promise, but it just didn't have any budget. A long time ago on Netflix, and it was a zombie apocalypse in the Midwest, and it was a completely different take. The idea was it had come and gone, and in the Midwest they'd just gone back to living normal, with the notion that you just had to go everywhere with a gun because you might need to down some zombies. And it like begins with people at dinner and they're eating, and that's hold on, and they go outside and gun down some zombies and come back.
Sounds very much like how they were portrayed in the very first Night of the Living Dead, where they're more the shambling dead, and it's where you could just do that.
I like the idea of mutant cheeseheads, though.
I like that. Of course, then I'm reminded of a Mystery Science Theater line where they're at was it Arkansas State game, and it's like, yeah, the Razorback hat lacks the quiet dignity of a cheesehead.
Cheese wedge.
A cheese wedge.
Well, when you see the cheese wedge gang at a sporting event, it is cultish. It really is.
Well, the guys who wear nothing but loincloths and green paint all over their bodies, and they do that every game, even in winter.
Okay, so what do I mean by Jordan B. Peterson anime? What do I mean by that? And by the way, we'll stick this up there because you need to treat yourself to one of my graphic novels this Christmas. Seriously.
And thank you, Fiona.
Yes, I appreciate it. The entire premise behind Tokyo Ghoul is, well, they're not really ghouls, but they're flesh eaters walking among society. But as you watch it, you realize it's really more of a metaphor for people who don't fit in. And that comes with a price. They disrupt society, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But you notice that all the ghouls in this are like artists or writers or craftsmen, people who do interesting things, or they dip into the more deviant category down to serial killers and
Well, you have the serial killers, you have the chefs,
yeah,
the
and cannibals. Yeah, it just so that's one of the notions. But also at the very end, the arc of the character starts from he is a very meek individual. He becomes a ghoul, not by his choosing. The whole life he's believed just fitting in and being a good citizen is all you need to do, and that it's better to have pain inflicted on you than to hurt others. And by the end, he realizes, no, that hurts people too. He realizes that's just inaction. And it really came down to the Jordan Peterson lecture where he was talking about one of the reasons detectives and mafiosos and anti-heroes fascinate us so much is that they have the capacity to do good or evil. They have a choice, which makes a difference. Often, someone who is without sin, someone who is always good, who's always obeying the rules, never does anything wrong, that isn't a virtuous person. That is an obedient person. You have to be able to make that choice. And that is really what the first season of this anime is about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see anything interesting?
Passerby to Victoria. I had a housemate who thought that Lord of the Rings was written by J.K. Rowling because the themes are the same. Ouch, I'm sorry. Redneck to Just a Passerby. Where's the part where Gollum bites Harry's finger and Dumbledore fights the Balrog?
That would be pretty funny, actually.
Actually, one of the artists I watch, he made this wonderful diorama of it's supposed to be Gandalf fighting the Balrog over the chasm, but they redid it where it's instead of his staff, Gandalf has a lightsaber and he's fighting the Rancor.
Oh God.
And the Rancor has a light whip.
Okay.
Actually, it worked really well. Redneck, but seriously, who else remembers Harry Potter having a music number with Tim Curry? Is it just me?
And
I remember that J.K. Rowling sold her character's name to Troll 2.
No,
Actually,
it was
it's
Troll 1. And it's amazing you watch that first Troll movie and how many elements that she stole are in that film.
Yeah.
It's a little creepy.
Like that mixed with, was it Books of Magic?
That also predated Harry Potter, yeah. And those characters look the same.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to call it a day?
All is good.
I can't think of anything else to add to this, so let's call it a day.
Okay.
Unless you guys have anything else you really want us to talk about, or if you want us to talk about in the next couple days.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have the next 3 days off of work, so I am free to come on whenever.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look like we're getting any suggestions here. By the way, have you all seen my video yet?
Samuel has been reading Jekyll and Hyde, which is one of my absolute favorite books of all time. That's wonderful that you're reading it. I can't read his comments because
sorry,
Ishii went off of it. Like how I was told from the perspective of another person, not what I was expecting, and the way Hyde was portrayed. Yeah, the way Hyde was portrayed definitely surprised me. And then what adds more to it, if you didn't already know, is that he wrote this in 4 days after a
cocaine binge.
Yeah, it was a cocaine binge, and this is really him dealing with his cocaine addiction. And it's like you read it with that in mind. It's like, fuck. And yes, this was back in the day where they were mainlining cocaine. So that syringe is what they would use.
Okay, real quickly here. For those of you who have not seen it yet, I did a long form commentary video on Santa Inc. and what I think it's really trying to do. I believe I've given the final word on this piece of shit, and spread it around. You know, my algorithms are so throttled at this point. I want this one to reach people.
And Fiona is sharing our next writer's room, or the next few shows for the writer's room. So thank you very much.
That will be very cool.
Mhm.
Let's see. We've got some other requests here. But yeah, seriously, share this video because it should be having higher ratings, be honest with you, for what it is. Interestingly enough, I did post it on Head Trauma to reach a different audience. And unlike this channel, it was immediately, I got a community strike for it.
Yep.
Immediately. And I told them, watch it. Just watch the damn thing. There's not a single bit of hate speech in it because they were saying I was guilty of hate speech. They put it back up.
Yep.
I can't help it if the comments on it are racist as shit. That's not my fault.
Let's
But
see here.
There were a few other comments here, things they wanted us to do. Talk about how much you hate taxes.
Well, now that I'm not paying them to California, not as bad.
Have you seen Overlord? I don't even know what it is. There was one other, the Harry Potter pole dance video. That sounds interesting.
Oh, I've seen that. Actually, we did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I know what
that
you're
was
talking.
great. Let's see. Want your comments about manufactured nostalgia?
Oh yeah, I could actually do a long form video on that. That'd be easy.
I could add to that.
There was another request here. Well, I can't find it now, but somebody wanted us to review the new Spider-Man movie. No.
It's up above.
My answer is no. Look, I already suffered through Santa Inc. Now I realize that the new Spider-Man is probably far more enjoyable than Santa Inc. But no, I will not have my soul further soiled by this shit. And furthermore, I repeat, refuse to give Disney another cent.
Fair Maiden wants more chapters.
Okay, I could send you the ones I have. The last two chapters, the last chapter I split into two. Really, I'm trying to get more female authors to respond to my questions so I can close the chapter off. And I'm guessing the holidays getting in the way too, but I really could use some comments. Sarah Hoyt was supposed to do an interview that I had sent her, and she's not written back. And that one was done through Dynamite Press, so it's an official interview. I don't know. Saga of Tinya? I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, do not know.
All right, well, yeah, I might have to just break down, and Fiona's going to be like the only female author I continually get quotes from.
Redneck says, I know Santa Inc. had racist commentary towards blacks through the reindeer.
Yeah, every reindeer was a black stereotype.
Yeah.
I thought about bringing that up, but it wasn't really the point I was making. All right. Well, I'm going to call it an afternoon. We will do more review videos since you guys seem to like these.
And a lot of people were asking about our feelings on manufactured nostalgia, so we should chat about that soon as well.
Okay. And if you have any specific nostalgia you want us to tackle, let me know. The Saga of Tanya the Evil. Okay, I'll check that. Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, great seeing you all, and we will definitely be chatting soon. And perhaps tomorrow we'll have a threesome.
And again, it's Christmas. Treat yourself to one of my books.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, they want more goth stories too.
Oh, they want more goth stories.
That's definitely something for the threesome.
I'll tell a few right now if they want, but do you guys really want more goth stories? I can give you that right now. I can give you goth stories. Well, I guess people are leaving. I don't know.
Well,
I just said goodbye. I guess not. So tomorrow then, more goth stories.
Tomorrow, more goth stories. Good night.
I've got plenty from Sharon.